Okay, it's like 8:20 over here right now, like 8:20 something. NXT Takeover in Your House has just ended. The sun is still outside where I'm at right now. It's kind of really sunny a little still. I know it's sundown and everything, but still pretty bright outside for a take after watching a pay-per-view. You don't really get those a lot, but then again, this takeover was like what, about 2.5 hours mostly. Started about 6 o'clock, ended at about almost about 8:30. So these takeovers are very short shows. And besides, this is only like about 6 matches, anyways. But welcome to my In Your House review, the NXT Takeover In Your House review. This is probably now the first time this has been a takeover. If you want to probably go back to the one that was supposed to happen in Mania as a takeover, but that was like a 2-week thing on TV. But this is the first actual takeover, I guess we should say, without a crowd, even though we have the wrestling school students as the crowd, which I feel like they did a pretty good job tonight. Like I said, I've already pitched that idea over a month ago, but it's kind of worked tonight, even with the banging of the glass several times, almost like it was like Ring of Honor a couple times here and that. But, you know, besides without fans and whatnot, I've kind of gotten past that whole thing, because trust me, I get it, people. Listen, I know some of these matches would be better if there was a crowd. I get it. I hear it almost every week on whatever show or pay-per-view that happened. Yes, 9 times out of 10, yes, it would, okay? But, you know, at this point in the game, it come back when it come back. That's how I look at it now. I've kind of gotten past the whole without a crowd thing, but at least you got something to make noise, somebody out there for some of these shows. So hey, you gotta take what you can get, if you ask me right now, with or without a crowd. So that's my whole thing on it. But takeover though, there's a lot of things to talk about. I didn't really watch the pre-show. It wasn't nothing, and I don't need to be seeing Sam Roberts because fuck him. That's why. But we do kick off the intro for NXT Takeover with Todd Pettingill. Listen, I don't know a lot about these In Your House shows. Okay, I wasn't really watching wrestling at the time, nor I don't think I was even born yet until later on. But I wasn't around in the New Generation era. Okay, I didn't start watching wrestling until I was in the Attitude Era, so I don't really know a lot about Todd Pettingill and everything, or like I said, the In Your House shows in general. I only vaguely remember the DX one when they kind of started taking over and everything, which, you know, kind of funny because this show is technically ran by DX, so I'm talking about the irony behind that. But like I said, I wasn't really around in the early 90s. I know the history of TakeOver, some of it and some of the matches, but I don't know all about the In Your House thing. I didn't know they were giving out houses back then for these In Your House shows and whatnot. But yeah, Todd Pettingill was like I guess he was like the guy that did a lot of the introduction. But like I say, he was around during those NXT. I don't want to say NXT Takeover, but the In Your House shows. I think I'm almost saying Takeover half the time, but the In Your House shows. No, that's what I mean. So that's kind of my only knowledge about In Your House and everything. Okay, like I said, I wasn't really around during that time. But we do kick off the show. They had Code Orange perform. I don't really know. I know my friend Steven said that the guy playing bass looks like Heidenreich, which I can see. I can see the similarities in that. He is right about that. So I'm glad he pointed that out to me. But of course, we have on commentary Mauro Ranallo, Tom Phillips, and Beth Phoenix. Now, I don't know if this show is live. Maybe it was live. I don't know, except for, you know, the Backlot match we'll get on to. But I believe this show was live, though. And we do kick it off with a 6-women's tag. Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Nox, and Mia Yim versus Dakota Kai, Raquel Gonzalez, and Candice LeRae, who looks like a pixie most of the time. And I've seen a lot of people talk tonight about how Raquel Gonzalez's gear said it reminded them of China, according to Beth Phoenix. But listen, this was a good 6-man tag. Nothing much I can really say from this. It did end up with Mia Yim and Candice LeRae ended up pretty much brawling all the way into the back, so they were gone. Basically, it only turned to a regular tag match then with Nox and Blackheart going against Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Pretty much, this didn't really go on that long after that. Tegan Nox ended up hitting her choke slam, or the Lady Kane choke slam, as they call it, onto Gonzalez. Pretty much right after they took out Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai ended up hit with by Tegan Knox with the shiniest wizard, pretty much getting a 3 count after that. So listen, this tag match was basically just to eat up some time. Wasn't bad or anything. It was pretty good, and it was what it was, basically, okay? So it wasn't bad. Good action. Nothing wrong with that. Hopefully, this is the end of the Dakota Kai and Tegan Knox feud. I am sick of watching this whole thing because I don't even think there's an end game to this, or I don't even know why they're even fighting anymore after this at this point. This looks like one of these feuds that are on a never-ending path for some reason. I've always called it like the wannabe Gargano Ciampa feud. I've said that numerous times in the past. Now, I'm wondering, what is the end game to all this, okay? It's like, okay, Tegan Knox got the win over Dakota Kai. Good. How long we gonna keep watching this? I'm serious. Come on now. I'm really wondering how long we gonna keep seeing this feud. All right, but this was just a 6-woman tag. It was added the last minute anyways from last Wednesday. So there you go. Not bad. Good opener. Good match. Just sick of this feud. Hopefully it's over after this. Also, I know they play a lot of ice cream sandwiches for WWE. A lot of ice cream sandwiches tonight for this ice cream sandwich. Maybe I'll check out one of those in the store, possibly. I don't know, but WWE trying to promote ice cream again. I wonder if they ever tried to take that idea from CM Punk. Remember those ice cream bars or whatnot. But next we get into Finn Balor versus Damian Priest. Arguably, I would say my favorite match of the entire night. This was great. Real great, okay? This was some great action. 2 guys going in there, pretty much killing each other in this match. I like this a lot, okay? I like this a lot. Going in and out the ring, this was insane. Wow, especially what Priest hitting that Razor's Edge on the Balor onto the apron was pretty great. One thing when he tried to go for the other Razor's Edge, even trying to imitate Scott Hall for a second, but ended up hitting the broken arrow on him then after Balor was able to dodge it. He went for another one, but, Balor hit him with that double stomp into the ground. A lot of back and forth, punch kicks and everything. There was a lot of back and forth from there. But one thing I did like was when Balor, he kicked him off the apron. I think he was going to go for a dive, but Priest ended up getting back up on there, and Balor pretty much took him out then right after that. That was pretty good. One thing in this match that was talked about, I think it was when he was going for the, but he was going to hit him with the raised edge to the outside onto the, the steel ramp and everything, but did not work. And, he was going to, because the steel steps were outside. Priest did like a choke slam on the Balor because Balor was going to go for the coup de grace, but he did a big choke slam off the top rope and hit him from there. But then he was going to go for that Razor's Edge to the outside then, but Balor was able to get out of it, and he ended up knocked Priest off of it, pretty much landing onto the steel steps back first. That was a brutal bump. You want to talk about a rough bump? Look at the way he landed, and you hear that loud thud when he just landed on it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, that was kind of bad right there. Like, it's like you hit the edge, like the steel, like the edge part just hits you on the back, like your lower back and everything. That just looked painful. Okay, that looked really, really painful. So that was a rough spot right there. Really rough. Balor ended up pretty much getting back. Well, Priest ended up getting back in the ring before the 10 count. He ended up crawling back into the ring, though, before the 10 count. As I said, Priest, pretty much right after Balor hit a coup de grace from the top rope, from the pretty much on top of his back, almost to his neck and everything. He went for another coup de grace, getting the win, pretty much pinning Priest right after that. So, Finn Balor goes over, which I kind of figured he was going to win anyways, which they said now he has broke the record for takeover victories with 11 wins now. So, just a great match overall. Like I said, this was my favorite match of the night. A lot of back and forth. Really good. This was a takeover match, you should say. It went 13 minutes, but I enjoyed it and I liked it a lot. I thought Damian Priest did good, maybe because he's working with Balor and everything, but I would like to see some wins for this guy because he loses a majority of the time. But come on, even going into this match, I knew Finn Balor was going to win, honestly, so I didn't really kind of doubt he was ever going to lose this match in general. But Balor getting the win right here pretty much guy is just basically a beast right now. Okay, he's just basically a beast. So what do I really have to what do I have to really say from this? Like it's like a lot of people say, since he's been back in NXT, the guy's just been on a roll lately. So yeah, Balor gets the win right here. And, you know, honestly, I feel like this is a way for him. They have to have Balor do something, because it's not like you were ever going to get that Walter match anytime soon. So, you know, they're keeping Balor occupied until whenever that date comes for, you know, Balor versus Walter. That was supposed to mostly be through WrestleMania weekend, but obviously that's not happening right now until whatever date, I should say. But yeah, Balor got the win right here. I see they played Ico Pro again with Adam Cole. They're trying to make everything look like it was in 1991 or 2, it looked like, with a lot of in-your-house references and whatnot. But pretty much then going into the next match, though, we got Keith Lee versus Johnny Gargano. Johnny Gargano, I have no idea whatever Marvel or superhero thing he was trying to be this time. Someone please look that up for me and tell me that. Keith Lee having the Black Lives Matter tights, good shit, let me say that. This was a good match, I will say. I'm almost kind of surprised it went on this long in a way, but yeah, I guess some would say it was the big man versus little man type of match, or even, you know, I had to agree with someone said this on the internet the other day, even on Twitter. Listen, I always seen Keith Lee and, you know, going a lot of these long 20-minute matches with other guys, but even I had to agree on some point, say, like, this match should have been, like, what, 3 minutes? Because I've heard a lot of people say that tonight about Keith Lee going against Gargano, mostly from the size aspect or whatnot, or, listen, there could be a whole argument about that, but even that, I gotta agree with a little bit to that truth in some way. But this was still not a bad match in general. One thing I should take from this was, you know, Gargano pretty much trying to dodge Keith Lee several times. And it got to one point when he was trying to go for that spirit bomb and everything. And he ends up running from Keith Lee and trying to go through the door, okay? He goes through the door, which the in-your-house door that's right there, because I don't think I really talked about the stage enough tonight. By the way, the stage was supposed to look like the original In Your House from the first one. So, like I said, I don't know a lot. I'm not fully on everything on the In Your House thing, but a lot of people did say that tonight, that it looked like the first In Your House stage from back then. And he's trying to get through the door and everything. And like I said, the door is locked, which I don't know why he just didn't go through the entranceway, because that's where he came from to begin with. But he kept trying to get through, and you can see the camera, like they put the camera there and everything, that, you know, just kind of looks through, and Keith Lee basically walks up to him, and he hits him with a Grizzly Magnum, pretty much sending him back to the ring then, because Keith Lee was dominating for a second until Gargano came back, mostly kind of focusing on stepping on his fingers and going for the eye, since he injured him with the keys the other night. I did like the crowd kind of singing along to John Cena's thing, was like, Gargano sucks, Gargano sucks. That was actually pretty fun. And they said, Johnny sucks, or something like that. Johnny sucks. A lot of people said it was actually off to like Darth Vader's theme song or whatnot. So I've seen a lot of people talk about that tonight. But one other thing I could take from this match was when they were on the outside, and I know Gargano was going for like the suicide dive, and even going for the tornado DDT out there. But when they were out there, Keith Lee ended up hitting the big pounce, which broke the plexiglass, sending Gargano into the crowd, or I guess there was a crowd right there, if it was a crowd right there. Well, it was a crowd, but you get what I mean, Performance Center students. And as, you know, Keith Lee is dragging Gargano's lifeless body back to the ring, Candice LeRae tried to pretty much get involved, but Mia Yim came out, and they had a brawl pretty much going to the outside of the ring then. Gargano ended up taking the keys like he had the other night on NXT, hitting Keith Lee in the eyes with it, and he hit his final beat, that big DDT and whatnot, but Keith Lee was able to kick out. Gargano pretty much in with a super kick right after, and you know, Keith Lee threw him into the referee, you know, which the referee was still okay, though. Gargano pretty much hit him with a couple more super kicks. But yeah, going for the super kicks, though, right after. I know at one point Keith Lee had for the spirit bomb, and kind of like how Gargano tried to pull himself out of it, and Keith Lee I like how he just picks up his arm when he does that death stare at you. It's like he's holding Gargano like with one arm, okay? He's holding him like this, and could have just threw him all over the place. That looked pretty cool, but, Keith Lee, he ended up, he had a spirit bomb on him, but then he went for 2 spirit bombs, and then hit him with the Big Bang Catastrophe for the win. Keith Lee still retained the North American Championship. This match went 20 minutes, which, I felt like a lot. I feel like that was predicted in a way, because I saw a lot of people say that, like I said earlier in this, for this match review at this point, about this going 20 minutes, and what happens actually with 20 minutes there. But yeah, Keith Lee, I mostly saw winning from this. Anyways, I didn't really think he was going to lose the North American Championship. I'm going to get into Keith Lee a little bit later on, because I'm sure a lot of people wondering what is next for him now. Since he's still the NXT North American champion, people wondering if he will go for the main title now. So a lot of people were wondering that. But next, though, we actually now go to the Backlot Brawl, which surprisingly, this was not the main event of the show. Then again, I'm surprised this wasn't even the co-main event of the show also. But we do go back to cinematic mode. We have, like I said, Adam Cole, who showed up in a Undisputed Era pickup truck, had the flags and everything. And then Velveteen Dream. Wow, because this looked cool to me. This dude showed up in a yellow Lambo, came out there, dressed as Negan from The Walking Dead, had the barbed wire bat Lucille, which wasn't a barbed wire bat, but he had like the jacket and like the Hollywood Dream on there. He had like the red scarf and everything. Like I said, the leather jacket, the baseball bat. He was Negan. Even The Walking Dead themselves had to tweet about that tonight on Twitter. So I actually popped for that. I like The Walking Dead. I'm a Walking Dead fan. So just seeing him coming out dressed as Negan from The Walking Dead, that made me happy right there. I had to clap my hands for that. That was pretty creative when seeing The Walking Dead involved, especially with Negan right there. But yeah, this dude showed up in the yellow Lambo, clean as ever. Dude was dripping out there. He was definitely dripping. But yes, this is a cinematic match, this Backlot Brawl. Basically, this is a parking lot brawl. If you've seen John Cena versus Eddie Guerrero back then on SmackDown, the parking lot brawl, this is what it is. The only difference, I would say, there's a wrestling ring involved in the middle of this Backlot Brawl, but you have the cars out there. Of course, you have the wrestling school students honking the horns, being loud and everything. Cole didn't want to start until Dream dropped the bat, which he did drop the bat. They pretty much started going in the ring for a second, but Cole didn't want to do the match then. He pretty much ran back inside of a car. Dream took the bat and started hitting the car and telling Cole to get out of there then, get out of the car. Next thing you know, an Uber car shows up then. I guess somebody ordered an Uber. Pretty much Dream and Cole started brawling then. He threw Cole into the Uber. I guess he tried to get Uber to get out of the match, but the Uber ended up leaving away. I'm sure that'll be a new commercial for them. If you're taking an Uber, fight around it and they'll drive off. But next you know, they started brawling around away from the car. I guess they were on the sidewalk at one point. Cole was trying to get out of there. He got in through one of the buildings. Dream started looking for him then, but when he opened the door, he got hit with a fire extinguisher sprayed at. And pretty much Cole had the upper hand on him then, hitting a kick on him, pretty much getting Dream into the ring, pretty much knocking him around for a second. But he finally got the upper hand and pretty much had Cole and threw him into the ring post. Pretty much taking him out. He was trying to go for the Purple Rain. Well, he jumped outside the ring. No, he tried to go for the Purple Rain, but didn't work. He jumped outside the ring, got super kicked by Cole, but as Cole thought he had the upper hand, Dream ended up super kicking him onto one of the cars. Dream brought a ladder on there, and I guess he's going to go for the Purple Rainmaker from up top and everything. But him and Cole brawled on the ladder for a second, which he knocked Cole onto the car then, knocking him down, which blood started coming from his back. So kind of a rough bump right there, especially landing on the hood of the car with the glass breaking. But next thing you know, the Undisputed Era ended up showing up in another car then, flashing the lights at Dream. It was, no Kyle O'Reilly, but Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong. They showed up, started beating up Dream after that. Cole pretty much told Undisputed Era, you know what you have to do. As Cole was trying to get up, they beat up Dream, and as they threw a whole bunch of chairs inside the ring then. But when they were trying to get another chair, one of the chairs got pulled back. Not Sam Shaw, but Dexter Lumis, same gimmick, honestly, shows up from under the ring. He starts beating up the Undisputed Era, and he throws them in the back of the car. Because listen, if you go back to last Wednesday when Loomis there was painting a picture of how he had the Undisputed Era in the back of a car and driving off with it, this is basically what the picture predicted. He threw them in the back of the trunk and he drove off with them, basically kidnapped these guys. So yeah, that's the last time we see of all of them. But Cole was starting to get up. Dream finally had the upper hand then. Cole was going to go for the not Canadian Destroyer, but the Panama Sunrise on the Dream onto the chairs, but Dream ended up hitting the Dream Valley Drive for a 2 count. Dream pretty much put Cole on the chair to sit in. Dream hit him with a purple Rainmaker from the top and pretty much hitting him once again for a 2 count again. Dream started talking then. This is basically he screwed himself in this match, saying every era has to end and that Cole's dream is about to end. But Cole ended up low-blowing him, and then he hit the Panama Sunrise onto the chairs and won the match. Adam Cole, 372 days as champion, which he kept saying forever then. I'm sure everybody think that's from Botchamania or from Terry Funk himself. And Cole celebrated. And he said Adam Cole, baby, before ending. Basically, Dream screwed himself. He talked too much, and that's why he lost this match. He talked too long, and Dream ended up losing. Did I really ever see Dream winning this match? A little in a way this time, because honestly, the last time when they fought on TV for the title, I never really had one type of chance that Dream was ever going to beat Adam Cole for the belt. This probably be the end of this, because they did say this is the last time Dream can face Cole for the title. Because I actually almost was thinking Dream was going to win, but since he talked so much mouth at the end of this match, Cole still ended up retaining, having his long title reign right now. So, in a sort of way, I actually somewhat thought of Dream winning, but I guess he's not the one to beat Adam Cole. Now, I know a lot of people have been saying this tonight. Is Keith Lee going to finally be the one to beat Adam Cole? I hope so. I've said that since, way back in November, because I said it before. I don't think Keith Lee needed the North American Championship. I think they should have played the hot hand during Survivor Series weekend, where he was on a roll that whole weekend, and they really should have had him be the one to beat Adam Cole. But obviously they want to keep going along with his title reign, and they went with Ciampa, and now they went with Dream. So I would hope Keith Lee is next in line, but I feel like it's still going to be an obstacle for him, because there's going to be another person we're getting ready to talk about that's probably being hot shotted towards the title next. And definitely some hot shotting, all right, but it's going to be a lot to say, but I still do believe that Keith Lee should be the one to beat Adam Cole. Now, if you want to make him the double champion, give him, both the NXT and the North American Championship, then, hey, that's what I would like to see, because even I'm wondering, who else is he going to face for the North American Championship? Okay, we already went with this whole Gargano thing, but now, who is Keith Lee really going to face for that title next? Because I would like it if they just now push him for the NXT Championship and we just go goal for goal right here. We got to do a double title type of thing. Let's do it. We already got enough double champions in wrestling right now. We already just had a double champion on SmackDown last Friday. So we got double champions all over the place. I would love for that to happen. Like I said, I think Keith Lee should be the one to beat Cole for the title. If that ever happens, because I keep hearing all these call-ups nowadays right now, so we don't know who's getting called up, but I keep hearing Cole's name or something being thrown around according to the internet and whatnot, but I don't want to know how. I don't really think that's true right now, especially with him still being a champion. So maybe at the next takeover, but we're gonna get into that into a second though. But yes, Adam Cole still retains the championship. We went back to Todd Pingale, who I guess was promoting WWE, merchandise and everything, and then I guess they showed DX there. Yes, DX were on a computer. I guess they were chatting with fans online. One of those old school 90s giant box computers, if you remember the old giant monitors. And if you've seen the clip of Shawn Michaels trying to figure out a computer doing this and everything, you know what I'm talking about. So, yes, DX trying to, appeal to technology on the AOL chat like it was back then. But next, though, this match. You want to talk about straight up murder? Oh, boy. Tommaso Ciampa versus Killer. So I'm trying not to say Killer Cross. Karrion Kross. I'm just gonna say Cross. This match, holy shit! This was a murder. But then again, I'm not really surprised by this at the same time too. But yes, other than Cross's very cool entrance, as of course, listen, this was murder. Okay, this was mostly Cross dominating this match. 90% of this match, I should say, just slamming Ciampa's neck onto the apron, which looked crazy. Throwing him all over the place. Hitting Ciampa with the knees and everything. Several Saito suplexes, of course, which just looks deadly. Just going, even pretty much telling Ciampa to hit him at one point with his hands behind his back. Ciampa at least was getting a couple comebacks. Hit him with a suplex and everything. Had a flurry of punches and kicks at one point. But even had Cross into the Willow's Bell to take him down. But, Ciampa hit him with a few running knees and even said, get up, motherfucker, and everything. But it ended up with Cross grabbing Ciampa in the air, hitting him, it looked like an F5. It looked like he threw him around in the air like it was crazy. And then hit him with the cross jacket until Ciampa passed out. This match was 6 freaking minutes, okay? This was straight up murder. Listen, Cross is basically getting hot-shotted to the moon right now. He is definitely going to the moon. Because if they just had him go over a top guy that has been in NXT for a while now, through multiple... excuse me. Through multiple... I'm sorry about that, but through multiple takeovers and being champion, probably being one of the biggest heels on this brand, basically murdered in 6 minutes, okay? And I can't really complain about it that much. Now, I know it's been some arguments of how Ciampa basically was jobbed out right here and that this guy's just been a very big fixture in NXT for a while now and a former NXT champion. Should he be losing in 6 minutes? Now, I do agree. Some people I would have liked if it would have went on at least another, I don't know, maybe another 5 or 10 minutes or whatnot. But they basically made Cross look super strong. Wow, I got something in but yeah, though, they basically got Cross looking super strong right here. And everything. Looking like a monster, okay? Listen, I've seen Killer Cross before. I've seen him in Impact. I've seen a couple matches of his on the Indies and a little bit of Mexico or whatnot. Listen, I didn't know who the guy was until Impact, alright? And I was already kind of an instant fan of how he was murdering guys over there at that point until, I'm not going to get into the whole, to why he left the company and everything, but, listen, this is basically what it was needed to be, okay? Cross murdered this guy, and he is being hot-shotted. Some people think he will be the NXT champion by the next takeover. Listen, he will probably be NXT champion soon enough. They will hot-shot this shit, okay? Because some people think he'll probably go against Balor and then Adam Cole next. Now, a lot of people, this brings my argument back to Keith Lee. Not Ciampa, but, Cross could probably be the champion before him, and then maybe somehow, some way, we would get a Keith Lee versus Cross feud, maybe for the championship, or that double gold thing I was just talking about a few minutes ago, okay? It could be a double champion from that point in time. I'm not really sure, but given how they're going to push Killer Cross, basically they have a ton of load of stock in him, okay? I've said that ever since he debuted, ever since he had that entrance, and basically this now proves a point even more that this guy is being hot-shotted to the freaking moon right now. He's getting a major push, especially to go over Ciampa like that, killing him. Yeah, like I said, I'm sure a lot of people aren't the biggest fans of it, but this is basically, in a way, that looked believable. I can say that. Listen, Ciampa, I'm not gonna on no side. Listen, Ciampa's like jacked to the gills and everything, but people will go off the whole size thing. Cross just basically looks like a freaking murderer out there, and he murdered this guy, because we've seen Ciampa as a beast, but This right here was just domination. Okay, this was domination, and Cross murdered this dude. So expect him to get a major push. I'm already seeing people now saying that, well, maybe Champ is going to go to the main. I'm seeing a lot of people say a lot of people are going to go to the main roster tonight after this takeover. I don't know. Maybe. We've already seen one go since Friday, the SmackDown. Well, not there yet, but he's already being promoted. But, you know, it's insane. And then all the, you know, even after when Cross won, everybody in the crowd started chanting, fall and pray, fall and pray, fall and pray. So, yes, right there, Cross murders Ciampa, 6 freaking minutes. I know they showed Robert Stone, Robbie E. looking depressed by the NXT logo. But in the main event, which I did not expect this to be the main event, but now I guess I can understand why this was the main event, though, because honestly, I don't know why the women's title had the main event this show, but this was a triple threat match. Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and Io Shirai for the NXT Women's Championship. After all of them made their entrances, of course, fans chanted, "You don't go here," since Bianca Belair said that. This was a good match. It took some point to get into the groove and whatnot, but I enjoyed this match a lot. Like I said, when it comes to the women's matches on NXT and the TakeOver ones, they always deliver, okay? And this was another one, too. Like I said, a lot of spots I can't even name from all this point, because a lot, like I said, everybody was just kind of going back and forth all over the place. You know, it's still kind of funny. I did find this funny at one point when I think it was after Io Shirai hit a 619, and I think Char reversed it like a double stomp on him. She pretty much looked at the performance students and pretty much told them all to suck it, doing a crotch chop. But you know, Ripley came back, pretty much dodging the moonsault with the knees and everything, taking her down. At one point, I think Charlotte did the natural selection on I think it was either Io Shirai or whatnot, and they pretty much start brawling to the outside of the ring at one point. Charlotte ended up throwing Io Shirai into the big window, or the glass, no, not a glass window, but through like near the screen of the takeover sign or whatnot, or what, in your house takeover sign. I'm doing the best I can to name this whole thing, but yeah, she threw Io Shirai through it. Next thing you know, Ripley and Charlotte pretty much started brawling in, you know, right there. And I guess Io Shirai got on to the top of the house of the in your house thing and jumped off of it, pretty much crossbody in both Charlotte and Ripley to the ground. Fans started chanting "Holy shit!" Then right after that, they was able to get back up, going into the ring, but Ripley ended up knocking Charlotte to the turnbuckle at one point. There in the ring, it was pretty much Io and Ripley then. Io's going to go for the Frankensteiner, but Ripley dodged it right after. Charlotte pretty much came back then with a kick then, and Ripley ended up hitting a big riptide off the top rope, but Io Shirai broke up the pin then right after. Of course, the fans started, you know, hitting all the plexiglass windows, like I said earlier in this review. Ripley ended up hitting the Texas Cloverleaf onto Io Shirai then, but Charlotte ended up breaking up with a kendo stick then, hitting both women with it. Charlotte ended up hitting a spear on Rhea Ripley, and then she hit the figure 8 on her. But as she hit the figure 8, Io Shirai hit her moonsault, landing onto Ripley's head, by the way. It was a rough-looking moonsault. Didn't even land the whole thing. She basically landed on Rhea Ripley's whole face right there. Go back and look at it. But Io Shirai was able to win, pinning Rhea Ripley, winning the NXT Women's Championship. So, great, okay? Good. Io Shirai wins. Now, I know, yes, Charlotte was not pinned, of course. We all know that and everything. This was a way to protect her. But Io Shirai is the champion. They dropped all the streamers, a lot of streamers into the ring and everything, and confetti. A lot of it, I should say. A big amount of confetti and streamers for her winning the NXT Women's Championship. So, good. Charlotte is not the champion anymore, so there is a lot of positives for everybody, because listen, if Charlotte won this match, I'm sure the internet would have a nuclear heat reaction, okay? That's what it would have looked like if Charlotte would have still won this title. The internet would have gone insane. So, like I said, there's a lot of positives I can say from this. Io Shirai is the new NXT Women's Champion. I'm sure everybody's happy. The internet can stop bitching about Charlotte being the champion, which I just found it funny after a while, okay? Listen, I never wanted Charlotte to be NXT champion to begin with. I understand why they put the belt on her, but after a while, I just kind of like how the internet reacted every week when she was the champion, getting all pissed off. I thought it was funny, actually. I didn't even get mad at that point in time because I understood. I never agreed with the decision, but it's just funny of the rage in the internet. So I guess this now saves them a day of the internet marks. Now they can stop bitching when you look at it. But Charlotte will now most likely go back to Raw. She'll probably be champion soon enough from there and be whatever, 12, 13 times she'll be the champion again. So yeah, don't be surprised at that soon along. They'll start complaining again. She'll be the champion soon enough in another one of the other brands in that NXT. I don't know what Rhea Ripley goes on after this, but I guess we'll see what happens with her. But Io Shirai, I got zero problems with her being a champion. But still, very, very good main event. Very enjoyable. Like I said, they always deliver. Overall, this was a good takeover. I enjoyed it. It was a decent to good takeover. Good matches. I can't really say nothing bad. My favorite match out of this whole show was Finn Balor and Priest. Very good back and forth. A lot of good things. Io Shirai's champion. Had a very good main event. The Adam Cole and, Dream match. It's a good brawl. I could say that. I'm sure a lot of people are expecting some over-the-top stuff in these cinematic wrestling matches since we get a lot of those. But it was a fight. It was a parking lot brawl. Some would say, like I said, it could remind me of Cena and Eddie back then on SmackDown, or some Attitude Era, type of hardcore style type of match. I'm almost surprised this wasn't even the co-main event too. But it was still good though. I liked it. It wasn't nothing, some crazy over the top silly type shit. But it was a fight. It was a pretty good brawl out there, and I had a good laugh at it. And I enjoyed the Negan Walking Dead, thing that Dream did. But it was a good brawl and everything. Like I said, Cole still retains the championship, even though I feel like Dream just ran his mouth too much. Cross murders Tommaso Ciampa, which I'm sure a lot of people expected that. I didn't even think it was going to go 6 minutes, but hey man, this is the way about it. So I'm not really complaining that much. I would have went on a few more minutes, but hey, Cross is the guy. Cross is going to be the guy they're pushing real high to the moon right now, especially if it's over Ciampa. They got a rocket ship and they're hot shotting this guy to the back. Okay, so there you go. Like I said, a 6-women tag thing. It was okay. It was a good opener. Lee and Gargano was pretty good as long as Keith Lee won. Honestly, that's all I really kind of cared about, but It was okay. I thought it went a little bit long, but it was okay. I will say that. So Takeover was a decent to good show. It was 6 matches. Like I said, I think it's the first Takeover without a crowd, unless you want to go back to the one, which the Tampa one that kind of happened like on a 2-week thing. But this was a Takeover show, which was live besides the cinematic part with Adam Cole and the Dream. Okay, so it was a decent to good takeover. That's all I can really say about it. Wasn't a bad show. I'm sure we've seen better takeovers in the past, which I'm sure everybody's argument will be, well, it was a crowd at the time. Yeah, we know it was a crowd at the time. Don't remind us. But, hey, this is what we got right here. So, I enjoyed the show. It was pretty good. It was only like, 2.5 hours? These takeover shows really don't go that long anyways. Hey, the sun was still up here by the time the show ended. So, I was like, hey, the sun's still out. So, man, this didn't really go that long. So, I enjoyed the show. Not bad at all. So, I'm sure it was probably another one of these in-your-house takeover shows. It was a good idea. It was actually clever idea to bring, In Your House back after, 25 freaking years that DX provided and whatnot. So, hey, DX kind of had this takeover thing, not takeover, but this in-your-house thing. I think it was like the last ever takeover they did years ago. But, like I said, if you remember the in-your-house thing from, the new generation era, I'm sure a lot of people were happy about that. Hey, I'm from the Attitude Era, so it's a different thing for me, but, it was good, and I enjoyed the show, and it made sense. Everybody's stuck in their house nowadays, so they're in your house, so, a good show, though, tonight, a very good show, but overall, I enjoyed this tonight. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter, @HoodedKnight890. Check out any other reviews. Like this video. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. We'll be back for Raw tomorrow night. Done.